Tommy.
Mr. Thompson, can you tell me about the causes of World War I? My history teacher mentioned it, but I want to understand it better.
Mr. Thompson.
Of course, Tommy. World War was a pivotal moment in history. It all began in Europe in the early 20th century.
Mr. Thompson. Contemplative.
You see, Tommy, at that time there was a lot of national pride and tension in Europe. People from different regions wanted their own nations, their own identities.
Tommy.
Like, when the countries we learn about today were just starting to form?
Mr. Thompson. Nodding.
Exactly, Tommy. Nationalism was a powerful force, and it often led to clashes and conflicts.
Mr. Thompson. Continuing.
Meanwhile, the big European countries like Britain, France, and Germany were competing for colonies in far-off places. It was like a game of chess with the world as the board.
Tommy. Wide eyes.
They wanted more and more land?
Mr. Thompson.
Yes, Tommy. They believed having colonies would make them more powerful and wealthy.
Mr. Thompson. Serious.
And then there was militarism. The countries were building up their armies and navies, preparing for a big showdown.
Tommy. Intrigued.
But why were they doing that?
Mr. Thompson. Thoughtful.
Well, Tommy, it's a bit like having a big stick. If you have a big stick, others might think twice before bothering you.
Tommy. Leaning in.
So, what happened next, Mr. Thompson?
Mr. Thompson.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Europe was like a tangled web of alliances. On one side, you had the Triple Entente, France, Russia, and Britain. On the other, the Triple Alliance, Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Italy.
Tommy.
But weren't alliances supposed to keep the peace?
Mr. Thompson. Nodding.
Indeed, Tommy, but sometimes they can drag nations into conflicts they didn't anticipate.
Mr. Thompson. Reflective.
Then came a moment that changed everything. Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary was assassinated in Sarajevo. Austria-Hungary issued an ultimatum to Serbia, and the alliances started to kick in.
Tommy. Wide eyes.
So, one event in Sarajevo led to a world war?
Mr. Thompson. Sighing.
Unfortunately, yes, Tommy. It set off a chain reaction.
Tommy.
Tell me more about how it all turned into a war, Mr. Thompson.
Mr. Thompson.
Germany offered Austria-Hungary a blank check, promising full support, even in war. Austria-Hungary then declared war on Serbia.
Tommy. Connecting the dots.
And that's when everything started to unravel?
Mr. Thompson. Nodding.
Exactly, Tommy. Russia mobilized to help Serbia, which made Germany declare war on Russia. Germany's invasion of Belgium to reach France brought Britain into the war.
Tommy. Realizing.
So, it was like a domino effect.
Mr. Thompson. Smiling sadly.
Yes, Tommy. By August 1914, Europe was at war. It was a time of great sorrow and suffering.
Tommy.
Mr. Thompson, thank you for explaining it to me. It's so sad how one thing led to another, and it became such a big war.
Mr. Thompson. Comforting.
Indeed, Tommy. History often teaches us the importance of diplomacy, peace, and understanding. Let's hope we can learn from the past.
Mr. Thompson. Softly.
Thank you for joining me on this journey through history, Tommy.
Tommy. Grateful.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. I feel like I've learned a lot today.